Here we are at Parkwood Estate, a worldwide building manufacturing project. Parkwood Estate is a unique architecturally designed freehold development. There are some 64 2- and 3-bedroom terrace houses here. Triboard is a key component here, and we're going to see how it is that they're using it. I'm here with Wade this morning having a look around this Parkwood Estate development with Worldwide Building Manufacturing Limited. So one of the guys told me as we were walking in, we can start on Monday morning with a slab and by Friday we're at the roof 3 stories. How does that happen?
Everything comes with a flat pack, and we give them a shop drawing, basically the same like IKEA furniture.
So one of the challenges with terrace houses is, fire protection and acoustic performance, and obviously structural, because we're doing 3 stories here.
Yes.
So you can achieve all of that with the Triboard.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm keen to see how it goes together, so we might have a walk around, eh?
Okay, no problem.
So we're inside this building, which is definitely under construction, right? The doors aren't in yet, windows aren't in, guys are still working. Just walk me through some of these details. So when I'm looking up at the floor, the joists are Triboard.
Yes, that's right. Like I said before, all the panels, cassette floor, and the roof are cut by the Triboard panels. The installation time for the boys on site is probably around 2 hours per level. Yeah.
Wow.
That's 4 pieces in total for this unit.
So looking at the Triboard here being installed, nice big window, double layer of Triboard on this construction?
Yeah, actually this is called a Triboard portal.
Right.
Which is, we use this replacing the traditional steel portals.
Yes.
And this portal here is all the way up to the 2nd level.
Yep.
We stack in the joints to increase the strength of the Triboard.
So the sheets are sort of lapping over
Correct.
each other. There's got to be some huge savings that, typically, you would potentially do structural steel, then bring your framing to it, then you're lining over it, whereas you're able to detail all of this in the factory, cut it in the factory, bring it to site, and the bracing and the portal, so the span of the window, is all incorporated in the design and all uses the Triboard.
Yeah, that's right.
Wade, we've come to the top floor and I'm looking at the roof construction and it's completely different to what I would have expected. So are these also made in the factory, delivered to site? How does that work?
This one is called cassette roof, which is we pre-cut all the components, the Triboard truss,
Yes.
all the battens, sockets in the factory, and
Right.
we number them, and the flat pack in the factory, delivered to site.
It's been fascinating to watch because it's innovation all the way through. From ground floor right through, we're seeing new ideas and new applications of, Triboard's been around 30 years, right?
Yeah.
So again, your earlier comment about, starting with a slab like that one out there on a Monday
Yeah.
and getting to this stage by Friday,
Yeah.
that's doable.
Yeah, that's possible. Yes.
Pretty impressive. At Parkwood Estate, we were looking at the Triboard panels being installed, but their journey starts here in the factory. So I'm with Wade this morning. So this is how it all arrives. It comes down from the mill, great big packets of Triboard. It's ready to go. What happens after that?
So after we receive the panels,
Yes.
we give it a primer coat. After the primer coat, we send the panels to the CNC machine.
No, I'm curious to see more. Let's take a look.
Oh, great.
The CNC machine is an incredible piece of kit, and to be honest, we don't have them on building sites, so you've got them here in the factory. Explain to me just what that's going to do. So we've got our full sheet of Triboard with a primer coat and then the CNC machine.
Yeah, as you can see from here, they got a suction cup,
Yep.
which is like picking up the sheet from the scissor table to the cutting table.
Yes.
And also we have 2 holders here, which is can
Yep.
take 10 different toolings. Architect will send us a shop drawing, and which is the machine will recognize which right tooling for which cut. And after the cutting, the machine will automatically push off the sheet to the outflow table.
And this is, I mean, this is millimetre perfect, isn't it? It's completely square, everything's true, exactly as per the dimensions.
Correct.
Nothing changes.
No, it's like, I think this is like a furniture standard.
Right.
It's not like a traditional timber framings.
Yeah.
So that's, our tolerance probably less than a mil. So everything is processed. Yeah.
It's amazing. So it gets another check, it gets dimensioned up, there'll be a little bit of extra work done, and then it's heading off there, ready to go onto site?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It strikes me as quite a remarkable journey for Triboard. So coming from the mill from Kaitaia in the far north, comes down here to this effectively state-of-the-art factory where you're able to do all of the cutting, arrange everything. It's all packaged up. This looks like it's ready for delivery.
Yeah, that's right. As you can see from here, the panels is going today, tomorrow. Actually, every day we're sending out the panels. The slab, you had a look yesterday. That's where the panel goes.
Yep. So we'll start from there, and then you were saying, 5 days from there, 3 stories, and we're working on the roof after 5 days.
Right.
It's an incredible journey. I really appreciate you taking the time to show me through. It's been really great.
Good to see you.
If you would like to find out more about Triboard, check us out online. Logan from ASC Architects, you're the principal architect out at Parkwood, where we have had a visit. Tell us about your introduction to using Triboard.
I came to know Triboard possibly 3 years ago when I started knowing Lloyd Parent, and where it all started in terms of ASC was that we were part of looking into modular architecture that have been kind of a big hype in the industry, maybe about 5 years ago, where we have shortage of housing, we need school that build a lot faster, and that's where we, at the forefront, we have kind of invested a lot of our resource looking into materials that can be used together that optimize modular architecture. And when we start looking into Triboard, we just thought that was the perfect panelized system that is kind of missing in the picture of a modular architecture for us.
So it sounds to me like we know what the challenges are, now we need to find products that can help us solve those problems.
Exactly.
So in terms of working with Triboard, it's now inherent in the building. From an architectural point of view, does it change your practice? Does it change how you look at the building? What you can do with the building?
The right design, the product such as Triboard is fantastic because it does everything what we want for a modular building is speed, efficiency, and that is the two main things that Triboard is providing.
What I noticed at Parkwood is there's the slab, there's construction underway, and then there's materials that have arrived and been delivered ready for that next stage. So that's, I guess, part of the advantage of a modular system. What are some of the other benefits?
I would say is the ability to create system within it. For example, we have a wall system, which is Triboard. There's an intertenancy wall that has been certified. We actually, with the technical support, the team have kind of come up with a stress skin floor system, and also have a stress skin roof system. And what it creates is an ecosystem of Triboard house. That is the beauty of Triboard, I would say, for modular housing. And besides itself as Triboard house, it also allows other products to go in at the same time. I think that is the greatest benefit. If you think about it, because of its dimension stability of the panel, we can actually get the kitchen joinery done off-site. We can get the toilets, shower tray, everything all sorted and just bring it on-site and install. So it's really what we are trying to do is we do majority of the work off-site. The on-site ideally is just assembly.
Yes.
And that is the beauty of Triboard, I guess.
One of the other things with buildings is, of course, they do things that we don't see. So in terms of terrace houses, they've got to protect us in terms of fire. They need to isolate us in terms of sound. Working with Triboard, what are the benefits?
Triboard is a product that have all its technical support ready to go. I think that's the beauty of Triboard. And many people think Triboard is a new product, but Triboard has been in the industry for the last 30 years.
Yes.
And to be fair, I would say 30 years ago, this product will be well ahead of its time compared to any other product back then. You are creating a finished product, which have, I can't see any comparison 30 years ago at all, as a wall system that is load bearing.
In terms of those really important things like fire and sound, you can achieve the required standards with Triboard relatively easily?
Triboard have all been tested and you have everything certified. So for us, that is an easy path of getting it across council.
A lot of change for New Zealand buildings at the moment around getting us to reduce carbon. So where does Triboard fit into this path to zero carbon?
I think the great thing about Triboard is engineered timber product. And being an engineered timber product is low carbon material, and that will actually assist when we are designing a building for net zero carbon building.
Which is really important for all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah. It is my great pleasure to spend a little bit of time chatting with Lloyd Parent, who is founder, owner and chair of New Zealand Building Systems. And your engagement with Triboard goes back to almost the very beginning of J&L's involvement in it. Just explain some of that to us.
Yeah, I first became involved at the time when Duke and Nishu came to New Zealand and looked at acquiring the forests and the business of then Northern Pulp. And so I've been with them right from the concept.
So this is a story about constant innovation. There's the beginning of a good idea and then a desire to continue to improve. So in that, 30 years that you've been involved, what are some of the most significant changes that you've seen?
I believe that what we've done is understood the housing industry and how we could best fill what we saw as gaps, whether it be in the flooring systems, in the walling systems, or in the ceiling systems, and trying to understand also engineered wood and what the opportunities it presented.
Given the amount of time you've been involved with Triboard, what are some of the key projects over that time?
Well, we initially started our company in constructing bathroom pods. And so we were some of the starters with just a bathroom system. Then we started to move into interior fit out. And from there, that opened up a grand opportunity for the hotels. And with a bit of a background in hotels, we developed a lot of the hotel properties in various hotels throughout New Zealand. Then we've got into apartments, and a lot of the apartments in Auckland and their firewalls and their interior walls and also some of the feature walls were used. And housing, we've done a lot of single story homes on the old quarter acres. And from that we grew into more of a multiple housing, culminating in the end with Parkwood.
We've talked a little bit about innovation. That's there right at the beginning of the story. We're talking about the challenges facing the industry and the way in which Triboard is responding to those challenges about how we build. If we look forward 20 years, what are the challenges? What are the opportunities?
So I think that the future is starting to head into what we call volumetric building. And by that I mean we're building product in a factory and bringing it onto a site literally almost furnished. So in the future, and we're starting to do that in hotels with some of the products I'm involved with now, we're building up the road a 200-room complex. That's all the hotel room is fitted out at a factory and brought to it. So I think housing will be very similar. Whereas in New Zealand, innovated in its pre-cut days, as we talked about before, pre-nail and timber framing, I think if we are smart, we could be the innovators for that next move. The rest of the world is catching up with volumetric. We are now doing it, and we are only being able to do it because of the panelised systems we're using.
And then underlying that, the notion around the volumetric and so on, is the panel, isn't it?
Yes.
It starts with the panel. It's a great big slab of Triboard, and with that you can do whatever you want.
And I think we can with Triboard be different, have a difference, because the steel side of it is nothing more than a container, but the panelisation speeds it up, and you can put everything like we have on the walls here, wood grain, plaster finishes.
And there's a glint in your eye when you're talking about it. It's obviously something that you've been involved with for a long time and passionate about, and you've been part of that story around driving innovation. So thank you very much for your time today. Wade, this is the final product. This is the house finished, ready for a family, ready for a new owner.
Yeah, that's right.
And it feels great. It feels warm, dry, comfortable. I'm loving that stud height.
This is a 2.8 ceiling height, which is compared to the standard 2.4 height. You have extra space, which is feels bigger.
Yeah, it does. And then it's solid as well.
Yeah, and it's easier for you to hanging stuff. Yeah, you've got a solid fixing.
There's all these issues around glancing light and trying to get a really good paint finish in that. This is looking really sharp on the Triboard.
Because this cutting by the CNC machine,
Yes.
so everything is very precise. You have almost level 5 finish everywhere.
Right.
So because there's less fixings and less joints.
Yes. And the integrity of the panel as well. You know, the panel's not moving, you're not having to straighten any walls.
That's right, yeah.
All of that. Look, congratulations. It's been
thank
great.
you.
It's been really lovely to see, you know, slab, framing, roofing, and then suddenly this is it, it's done. Looks great.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. I've been building for quite a while and I love it, and I love the innovation, and this has been a great opportunity to learn more about Triboard.